Hello, after Redmen TV Daily News time. I'm back. Chris is gone, but Aubrey's here. Hi, Aubrey.
Always.
Just slotting in. You're just comfortable in either seat, really, aren't you?
I'm like James Milner of the Redmen team. I got signed to be a centre mid. I'm currently playing left back, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. Not one to complain. Not to our faces, anyway. Got a few stories we want to cover today. A huge piece of transfer news. Massive transfer news. It's probably bollocks, but we'll do that last because fuck it. I don't want you to stay and watch the video. The first, we've got some injury news off the back of the win last night. In fact, we've got two pieces of transfer news. So we'll get through all of those in due course. But first, Mamadou Sahko has apparently finally now been cleared of his doping charges. Aubrey, the World Doping Authority, I've actually got the quotes. Well, that's in quotes. They've decided not to appeal UEFA's decision to dismiss doping allegations. So, Sakho finally in the clear. Should clear up his loan move quite nicely.
I was about to say, that was my line. It'll be brilliant for Roma, that, won't it? Because he's not going to... Yeah. Look, it's horrible, isn't it? Because mud sticks, and we live in a world where, you know, the stupid expression, no smoke without fire. In about 4 years' time, football fans who aren't Liverpool fans will go, yeah, but Sakho was on the drugs, wasn't he? Because it's happened, and that's the horrible thing. Yeah. That for professional athletes get tarnished.
Rio Ferdinand, I think that most people have forgotten that Rio Ferdinand missed the drugs test and was banned for a significant period. I'll never let you forget it.
Yeah.
Never going to let you forget that. But this is it. You know, most people will forget about this and they'll move on. But you're right. It is one of those things that it will be a stigma that he has to carry with him for the rest of his career.
So I like Mamadou Sahko. I like him as a footballer. We've spoken many times about how we like him as a fella who's bought into Liverpool. Yeah. As a city, as a football club, he does a lot of charitable work. It's a shame that if it's this monumental cock-up and that he's got that attached to him, because it can be a hard thing to shift. Yeah. But it's over with.
Everyone thinks Matthew Kelly's a paedophile, and he's not.
And yeah, completely cleared, completely exonerated from it, and his career went...
He sat at home having his fucking cornflakes, thinking it's all finally done and dusted. Yeah. And then in the fucking Redmen TV, bring it up again.
He's a Scouser, isn't he? Or is he from...
Yeah, he might be, yeah.
I think he's from around these parts.
I don't think he's watching,
He might be a Liverpool fan. Yeah. We may have just ruined his day.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Matthew, you're not. So it's fine, just in case anyone didn't know.
Tonight, Matthew, you are not a paedophile. And exactly like last night.
Just like last night and every night that's preceded it and every night that will succeed it as well. So there you go.
Well.
No, not a paedophile. Just Matthew Kelly, not a paedophile. Just to clear that. Gary Glitter, paedophile.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, paedophile.
Matthew Kelly, alive and well.
Fine.
Well, alive.
I don't know if he's well. I don't know, sensitive intestines or something I don't know
about. If anyone's near him,
probably best.
Go and check in on him.
Just check his pulse.
He might have slipped in the shower. We don't know.
This is the most partridge of the news shows of all time. Just to clear up, the Queen is not dead. It was a humorous introduction to a song that's clearly been mistaken by a few callers and a national newspaper. So, yeah, Sakho, what's interesting, you did the potential loan thing yesterday, but it was interesting, Chris actually posited something in the studio earlier, and any new parents not posited like that, because posited, that is vomit, but it's fine, is that he said, well, look, the reason why Chris thinks he might go out on loan is because Joel Matip's going to end up at the African Cup of Nations in the new year, and Sakho will need to be fully fit and ready for it. Now, I don't know, we discussed this, that the loan moves has changed, the loan system's changed in this country, so you can only have 6 month or full season loans and no recalls within that. So that you couldn't loan him to England, but I don't know, and I'd be interested to know if anyone knows at home, whether we could loan him.
Like a short-term
loan.
Yeah. It's a really strange scenario, isn't it? Because the argument was made yesterday, and I still stand by that argument, which is you've brought 2 new centre-halves to the club and teased for a little bit later in the show, possibly a third. You don't send a player out who's going to partner them. That's one of the positions in the... I can understand sending Markovic out on loan to get him up to fitness, to keep him ready, like if there's a possibility of a short-term one. Because then when Mane goes to the African Cup of Nations, we bring a fella who's flying because he's scored goals back in. Because a winger's a bit more individual. And ultimately, they all play as a team. You defend as a team, you attack as a team, etc. So it is a team game and Klopp plays a team game. But there are certain positions where the team is more important. Do you know, like that the partnership, centre mid partnership, defender with the goalkeeper. Do you know, if you're actually looking at it, you've got everyone wants us to buy a new left back, so that could come into play. But you've got a new goalkeeper in Karius, Matip and Klavan that Sakho hasn't played one training session with yet because he's been injured throughout the whole of the summer. Sending them out on loan and then expecting them to come in December/January and fit in and be fine is quite scary.
Yeah.
So I don't take that.
So it's a bullshit suggestion, Jack.
Yeah, it's
get
just
back
wrong.
in your fucking hole.
But I just don't see that. What I said in the office to it was, Sakho's really liked, so everything would be indicating that he's getting bombed out by Klopp.
Yeah.
But because he's really liked by fans, we're looking for ways to work it round that. No, he's going to stay.
Find excuses.
Whereas if it was Markovic and the rumours were that he was going out on loan, or just someone who wasn't, like Skirtle was still at the club and Skirtle was going out on loan, we'd just be like, he's done in, he couldn't find a buyer for him.
Absolutely. Just to pre-warn, I've defo got a sneeze on the way.
Okay. Headphones at the ready.
I'm not sure. What I'll try and do is this, just as a warning. Tom's already ditched the headphones. It's not ready. So we'll move on a bit. Again, thoughts on the Sakho thing, if you would, in the comments below. We move on to injury news. Emre Can went off injured, which is a shame because it was great to see him back in the team yesterday. And there was an injury to Divok Origi as well. Now Jurgen Klopp has come out and said that Emre Can, they kind of don't know as yet. More on this to follow when we do know it. He thinks it's not as bad as we originally thought. It looked terrible at the time. You always see it, don't you? When it's when players go down injured when they've not been touched.
Yeah.
Weirdly, they end up being often the worst.
The worst
injuries.
ones, yeah. Yeah, and again, it wasn't in this case, but there's nothing worse than if you're in a football ground and you hear like a air rifle pop, and it's some fella who's just been walking and he's on his own, and you see the hamstring.
Just some disgruntled Tesco worker.
Yeah, just taking a shot at Tony Pulis. And you see someone go down and they've held the hamstring, and it's frighteningly loud. How essentially just a part of a human body can be cavernously loud. That pop, I think I've seen it once. It might even have been as many times as twice around Anfield when someone's just gone and they just crumple and they're down on the deck, and you're like, shit, that's a long time on. Yeah. That's a bad one. You can kind of judge other people's reactions. His teammates didn't look that happy. Yeah. They were like concerned because ultimately, you must know when players feign injury or they roll around or they become a bit... No, he's rolling around and he's in pain.
Klopp's description of it was amazing when he basically said he had a straight leg and then it went a bit floppy and there was pain.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, great. That's fine.
Top-class medical.
I think that's cleared it all up.
Top-class medical. Dr. Nick from The Simpsons couldn't have done better than that, Jürgen.
Your leg has gone floppy. Okay, brilliant.
You've got the floppy disease. Yeah. Thank you. You're going to fix it?
But fingers crossed, because that would be a big one. You could see the Klopp was a bit like put out by it because you would be, because you can see how, again, and we're going to be doing the final word show on Burton Albion today, and there's going to be the usual qualification of this is a championship, a newly promoted championship side as well. But having Emre Can there instead of Jordan Henderson, I think, give us a far better platform than just Henderson in there. So it would be a blow, particularly given that we've gone with we have such a strong side. Mane's in, a lot of players that you thought we might not risk. Emre Can ends up, to lose him would be a massive blow ahead of the Spurs game. But fingers crossed, it's not too bad. And apparently Origi's just cramp. So that's fantastic news as well. Because for me, and again, I will come on to this probably in the build-up show, is I'm Origi. I'm interested to see the difference in Origi against Spurs at White Hart Lane this season to last season when he got his first opportunity under Klopp. That excites me big time. So that's good, potentially good news if nothing else. Right, let's get on to the stuff that everyone's really here for, and that's transfer news. Apparently, now the first one is actually something that I say broke. The Daily Telegraph has got like an ongoing stream throughout the day of news, and as I went to check on the next bit of news, which is the James Rodriguez stuff, which you'll get from the thumbnail, I don't know why I was teasing it, is that according to Turkish outlet Fanatic, Liverpool have made a 4.3 million bod for Porto defender Bruno Martins Indy. I actually don't know if that's from the Telegraph. Let me just double check before I go completely and slaughtering them. That is from the Telegraph. Yeah, brilliant. Bod, not bid. Bod. I'm not saying that like takes the shine off any realism of potential transfer, but they have written bod instead of bid. And they've written, cook, where they once said cock, and so on and forth. Fine. We've said this. I think we've said this already. Bruno Martins. If you're going to get him in, and that could be another reason why Sakho would be allowed out on loan, because you're going to get this guy in who can also cover left back as well. Then that's all we'll need, I guess, for the season. And if Sakho needs to get game time, which he does, we know he does, because he's a terrific centre half, but we know he needs 5 games to get
back and running,
to discover where his toes are in relation to his head. Anyway, the big news then, big rumour of the day: James Rodriguez, Real Madrid, Colombian superstar Aubrey. Funny enough, we were all kind of secretly hoping we'd sign him before he moved to Madrid, and then we realised there was no chance. Now, apparently, Liverpool, according to Spanish newspaper Mundo Deportivo, there's a 2-page spread on his future in there, and apparently Liverpool are one of the clubs monitoring and have a significant interest. But there's a great line. Florentino Perez, who's the Real Madrid chairman, says that he thinks Liverpool will struggle to satisfy the financial wishes of the club, which is that, they paid around 70 million for him. There's talk that they'd want around 50 for him, which is basically intimating Liverpool wouldn't pay. Go and pay it.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's not quite worked for him at Real Madrid. He had an amazing World Cup, didn't he, Joe? He really come to prominence in that, and people were kind of aware of him, but after that World Cup, you knew who he was. Not only just because he had the biggest insect land on him, if you remember. See it in the actual match, it was about that big. And
it was like Starship Troopers.
Just living on his back whilst he was playing football, he just wouldn't budge. But he was player of the tournament for me that year, and some fantastic goals. They were unlucky to not go through against Brazil, was it? And he got the move to Real Madrid. He won't be the first player, and he wouldn't be the first player. He definitely won't be the last. Who's a very good footballer to not get a fair crack of the whip at Real Madrid, because they've got several other very good footballers who play in that position. I kind of felt like he got forced out of his best position by Gareth Bale and Ronaldo. That's not necessarily a bad thing, or doesn't speak on him. I'm a sucker for a big transfer. I love a big transfer rumour. I love news. I like the excitement of thinking, wow, a star player getting in. We haven't currently, like Sadio Mane's impressing every day, but he isn't a star name. When he was bought, we're going to turn him into a star name, and hopefully he will be. But go out there and make a statement. If you can get him, if he's interested, because they're the type of players that you can never have enough of.
Yeah. Boss footballers.
Good footballers, someone who can, look, how much did we miss Mane against Burnley? From the 2 performances we've seen sandwiched in that, Mane gets a shoulder injury, misses 1 game, and we look very pedestrian. Yeah. Go and get another footballer who can do that. Whoever that is, go and get someone else. Because wouldn't it be nice to have 2 of them on either side, dovetailing at the same time, really put teams to the sword? Or, you know what, Phil, we don't need you today. Because I think Phil Coutinho would flourish if the pressure was taken off him with a James Rodriguez in the squad. So, it'd be great if we could. I don't think it'll happen.
Apparently, he scored 25 goals in 80 appearances for Real Madrid.
He's been a flop, hasn't he?
Yeah, how shit
what
is
he? What a terrible player.
He's the best. He's an ex-Guti.
Yeah.
But, I think I've got this stat from last season. In 26 Premier League games, he scored 7 goals and got 8 assists, which is about standard for a Liverpool attacking midfielder, so that's fine. Now, he's the one, and look, again, we're battling for with Chelsea and United or whatever. That's the kind of signing that Chelsea will go out and buy, and we'll all be fucking dead jealous of it, or Man United will go out and buy it, and we'll all be going, oh my God. Is it out of Liverpool's budget? Maybe. But I would, again, if that's the fee, I don't think you're talking 15 million more than our record transfer fee, which is a lot of money, because that's like almost half of it again on top. I know, but with the inflated transfer fees and blah blah blah, I just think the message that doing that, and again, this is not to say it's a realistic thing in any way, shape, or form. It's not. If we could stretch to that, I'd just go and make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, he's still young. He's still got room to improve. He's still coming into his best years. He's a phenomenal player. I think he's left-footed. I think I'm right in thinking that. I might be wrong, but you know, so he would fit in with what we've got. I'd love to see us just go and make that a reality and just go to everyone. Cause you know what I want? Because I want Liverpool to start fucking, and I wanted a lot of people associated with Liverpool to do this for years. Start fucking throwing your cock about the place. Start slapping the league around a bit. You know, and it's great. I agree with the Klopp ethos of getting players in and building them up, and you even know a lot of money on Mane. But just to be able to say to world football, we're not fucking about here. Look at what we've got. Look at it. You know, there's a great. We've got Sakho coming in today to talk about his latest book, Ring of Fire, and he talks about like the end of the Torres days and how, you know, he was concerned that Liverpool just needed to go out and buy big name players, and I don't want it. We shouldn't be getting attached to that. But it's not like we're buying a 30-year-old or something like that. Go and get a guy in his prime who would absolutely, unequivocally improve what we've got. Yeah, I think we should do it. I don't think we will, but I would love to see us do it. Okay, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. There's my phone now. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the Redmen TV YouTube channel, and on the redmentv.com, we're going to have some fantastic extra content exclusive to subscribers. There's going to be the Final Word show. I'm going to have a sit-down chat with Simon Hughes about his latest book. There will also be the fantastic Final Word from Burnley as well, which you should be able to go back and really enjoy now, to be fair. And we've got some exclusive interviews with some Liverpool legends as well. All going to be on there, all completely free for the first month. I'm going to put my phone up and I'm going to wrap it up there. Go over to the redmentv.com, do it now, and be very happy with your decision.